È una persona a cui devo molto e che mi ha veramente aperto le porte nel cinema ad Hollywood è stato William Sandell, o Bill Sandell, carissimo amico, scenografo, con cui ho lavorato all'inizio della mia carriera in un grossissimo film, Total Recall, con Arnold Schwarzenegger. Total Recall era la storia di questo agente segreto a cui è stata cancellata la memoria e che poi si ritrova sul pianeta Marte. Il compito più difficile, più importante dello scenografo allora era cercare di ricreare il pianeta Marte, chiaramente un posto dove nessuno c'era mai stato, quindi non esistevano neanche delle fotografie per le location del film. Quindi è stato un lavoro enorme. Io con Bill Sandell ho collaborato non solo facendo gli storyboard, ma anche facendo degli schizzi per il reparto scenografia. Il film era diretto da Paul Verhoeven, conosciuto grazie a Robocop, un altro film di successo, in cui anche lo stesso Bill Sandell era stato production designer o scenografo. Paul voleva illustrazioni molto grandi, cioè una per pagina, quindi anche come tempo di realizzazione erano molto più lunghi. E poi era molto specifico, cioè mi chiedeva di rappresentare dei momenti, cioè mi dettava tutte le istruzioni, il che era una cosa anche molto utile per me. Quindi abbiamo realizzato, non so, centinaia direi di illustrazioni alla fine, tutte da tappezzare ogni stanza dell'ufficio di produzione.
Hello, my name's William Sandell. I'm a production designer. And a lot of people probably don't know what that is, but it's the name in front of the credits, opening credits of a film that everybody says, who the heck's a production designer? Well, production designer is the head of the art department, so I'm really the head art director. I've worked in the business for over 40 years, working on films, working my way up through very low budget films to doing some of the biggest movies that have been done in Hollywood. I'm known for designing big sets. I've done probably 40, 50 films. Some of them you might have seen. It's been the love of my life. I'm an artist also, an assemblage artist, but film has been my life for years now, starting as a young 20-year-old, 23-year-old kid. I worked early in my career, not so early, but when I started working for pretty interesting directors, I ran into Paul Verhoeven, who is a force of nature. And we collaborated on RoboCop. And I spent a lot of time with Paul, and it was a grueling shoot, but I think everybody's enjoyed the picture over the years. Then Paul had us back in between, he decided he was going to do Total Recall. So we all decamped for Mexico and worked on Total Recall. And it was about a year of my life on Total Recall. Some of the biggest sets ever built. We took over the whole Chabrusco Studios in Mexico City, the old Howard Hughes studios built in the 40s, and started building, and we built 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for almost 8 months. But with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Paul and a great script, it turned into a heck of a movie. This is one of the times I worked with Giacomo Ghiazza, and that was great. He was right there with Verhoeven. How he survived Paul Verhoeven, I'll never know. Giacomo Ghiazza and I have worked on 5 or 6 films, I believe. We've been good friends for years. We did a lot of work together, a lot of good work. He's terrific at his job. He spends a lot of time with the director, trying to bring out from the director's vision. And if the director won't speak to him for a number of reasons, they come to me. And so we sit there and try to flesh out what the script is trying to say and then bring it to the director And then when the director sees Giacomo's drawings, he goes, "That's it! That's what I was trying to sell." This is the way that a storyboard artist and an illustrator work with the art department. I bring Giacomo images that I would like to see in the script. I'm interpreting the script my way. Giacomo fleshes out the script by putting characters in my vision of what the architecture and the feel and the look of the picture is. He's very good. I see architecture as a certain way. Giacomo sees it with a human in it, interacting with it. And that's that's the whole ball game for a storyboard artist, is to deliver action from the printed page. It's a long stretch when somebody says, the car drives down the road and crashes. There are many pieces to that puzzle, and all of these pieces have to be drawn, storyboarded, and laid out in many production meetings so visual effects people can see them. The people that are actually going to be in the car, the effects people and the stunt people, can see what they're about to do. I can see what I need to do from the art department to accommodate the shot. So they are the starting point to sort of get the director's vision out so that everybody that needs to know can visually see the information. And that's very important on a film. Giacomo and I have done a lot of fun movies together. We worked on the film Hocus Pocus, a witch movie with Bette Midler that plays every year here in the United States on Halloween. We've had a lot of fun designing those sets. So it's been a great collaboration all these years. You know, I think it's interesting to know a little bit about how someone like myself, the production designer, works with someone like Giacomo, the illustrator, storyboard artist. I'm usually on very early, before cameramen, before anybody. The director hires me. I need to find somebody that can draw. I don't draw that well. I need somebody like Giacomo to come in and start letting me sort of say, what about this? And Giacomo goes, no, let's do it this. I go, okay, that's a good idea. We need to come up with ideas. We've both got the script, we're both reading it, and we're both seeing ways to approach a scene. And we need to do this. Giacomo sometimes, when he isn't doing storyboards, does keyframes, which are images, beautiful wide shots of the different sets as I envision them. And eventually we take these to the director, and the director says, I love that, maybe he doesn't like that one, and eventually we might have 30, 40 drawings that we can then show the director, and he, with his blessing, show the studio. And the studio says, bellissimo. And we get funded to do the picture. These pictures that Giacomo and I work on are from $30 million pictures to $150 million pictures. Giacomo's just done $200 million pictures. So that's a lot of money for the studio to entrust to a director and the producers of whatever picture we're working on. So they want to see what they're going to see on the screen, and that's why it's a long, laborious process for an art department to proffer up to the studio and the director images that make them feel like, yeah, this is worth the $140 million we're about to spend on this picture. And Giacomo is a key part of that. So this is quite a process. Giacomo and I in a room with our scripts, trying to bring the magic off the page, the printed word, into a visualization that the director can look at and fall in love with, something that eventually with Giacomo's drawings we can go to the studio and the studio can say, bellissimo. Here's your $200 million to make this project. And that's a big deal in the film business. Giacomo and I have seen, I think, really the glory years in Hollywood when some really great films were made. There's going to be some more great films made, and there's great films being made right now. Giacomo's still turning out and working on these wonderful, big, hundreds of million-dollar budget movies. I think it's wonderful for younger filmmakers to see Giacomo Ghiazza's work here in the Palazzo Massetti in Asti. It's a real treat, I think, for people to see all the wonderful work that Giacomo's done here while I've known him in Los Angeles all these years.